All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Gooner Eagle Eye coming to you again with a brand new video. This time it is to do the player ratings for the Everton versus Arsenal game. Yep, that bloody game that we lost yesterday. And I guess when it comes to savaging players, there's only one savage that I know does it better than me, and that is Lee Gunner. Say hello to the people, Lee.
Good evening, and it is a good evening because Arsenal haven't played.
True.
It wasn't a good evening yesterday, and trust me, I'm still fuming, man. I put a tweet out this morning saying I've woke up, I'm still fuming from the game. I wonder how many of our players, our overpaid players, have woke up fuming from yesterday. My guess would be none of them, because they all go back to their multi-million-pound mansions with their supermodel wives and their fat bank accounts and their fast cars. I don't care about us, mate.
Were there any apologies?
To be honest, I haven't seen any.
I haven't seen any either.
No, but you know, Mustafi will be tweeting out back up on top and all that soon, and you know, I'm sure the PR merchant will put something out there saying we apologise and all that. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it weren't great, was it? And do you know what? I'm kind of glad I never went.
All right.
Because that is a mission to Liverpool from where I live, right? That is like a 4-hour trek for a Sunday afternoon game that would have finished at what, 10 to 4, 3:30, something like that. I would have got home about 9 o'clock, 8, 9 o'clock. I would have had to have left at about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I never really wasted my Sunday for that, because I think I probably would have been even more upset if I'd gone. So yeah, I'm kind of glad I sat on my sofa and watched it from the comforts of my armchair, mate.
I can understand that. To be fair, it wasn't the greatest of viewings, but I think perhaps we have a slightly different perspective, because you went in your preview, you fully expected us to slap them, whereas with me, I was expecting a hard game. So I suppose when people kind of message me like, "You don't seem surprised," and I was saying to people, "No, I'm not, because I know my team. I know my team."
Do you know why I thought we'd beat them and beat them well? Right, is the fact that we've been full of confidence recently. We've won like quite a few games in a row, kept clean sheets back to back. Players are performing, like not just one or two, quite a lot are performing, even defensively with the clean sheets. You know what I mean? So, and I know Everton had got a result against West Ham and Chelsea. But they're an iffy team, Everton, man. And listen, full praise to them. They fully deserve to win and win 100%. By 5. Yeah, that should have been 5, right? Yeah. I think Sigurdsson, who, by the way, I got mocked a few years ago for saying I'd take him at Arsenal. Yeah, that guy was superb for them yesterday. So he actually had the same amount of shots as our whole club, as our whole team yesterday. Yeah. And he was unlucky not to have scored a hat-trick yesterday. Some of the chances he had, and some good blocks from Socrates in the end stopped him. But yeah, it was just like, I don't know, man. Like I thought we'd beat them. I thought, like I said, they're a dodgy team. They're the sort of team that could go and beat Chelsea and then go and lose in a cup to Leyton Orient or something. Do you know what I mean? That's the sort of team they are. And I'm not trying to mug them off, because I actually quite like Everton as a club. Like, and when I've been up there for games, their fans are sound. Yeah, they're not arrogant like Liverpool fans. Do you know what I mean? They know where they are as a football club. They don't want to get above their station. But fair play to them, man. We can't sit here and say anything other than they fully deserved it.
Yeah, and for me, I suppose what I need to really set people's expectation as we start to dissect this game is we are going to focus on reality and not the idea of somebody or something. So if you notice, me and Lee are talking about the idea of our perception of what we expected before that game. But we're going to focus on the reality, because the results of that game, the performances of that game, was not good enough. So I want people to bear that in mind before they get emotional, before they get angry, before they start cursing.
I had to log off of Twitter at 5 to 8 this morning. It done my head in. I was only on it for 20 minutes, mate. Yeah, it was just like, you know, this idea that if Granit Xhaka had started the game, we would have won. Like, where does that come from? He's played how many away games in 3 years, and how rubbish have we been away from home?
Let's be real. I know he's your boy, but we both know where that's come from, and his little minions I've now started to spread that little theory.
Listen, at the end of the day, he's played
Real here.
better this season. Yeah, he's played better this season. And I'm not going to turn it into a slagging match for Xhaka. Yeah, right. He has played better this season, but let's have it right here. Yeah, we've won 9 away games in 2 seasons. 9 away games, and he starts nearly every single game. Right. The only reason he hasn't started yesterday is because he was injured. Right. The idea that he's suddenly going to come in when he's not mobile, doesn't run past people, and people go, yeah, but he just dictates the play. Really? Okay, well, did he dictate the play against West Ham then? Oh, no, he switched off and let Declan Rice run in for a goal.
But you know what it is, though, Lee? Let's be real here, right? If we lose, people will always look for excuses.
Yep.
So if we lose, say Emre decides not to start a certain superstar because he's not started the superstar. If the superstar's played, oh, well, then it must be because Granit Xhaka didn't play. If Granit Xhaka played and the superstar played, oh, well, it must be because Emre got his tactics wrong. If Emre got his tactics right and those two played, well, Emre's not good enough as a manager. How about the players let him down? How about some of these players ain't good enough? How about the man is still working with the previous manager's players?
The reason we didn't perform yesterday and the reason we haven't performed away from home multiple times this season and last season is because when we play an away game, 7 or 8 of our players hide. Yeah, they disappear, right? Yeah. That formation, I've seen people say to me, oh yeah, but when you're going with 7 defensive players against Everton, hold on, you're playing with wing backs. How are they defensive? They're attack-minded, right? So you're actually technically only going with 5 defensive players because your wing backs, yes, they defend, but they're supposed to be your outball. They're supposed to be your attack. And if you look at Everton yesterday, Seamus Coleman and Digne, or whatever his name is, on the other side, how far forward were they? Do you know what I mean? And it's like when we have 6, 7, 8 players all go into hiding every single away game, you're not going to win away games. When we play at home, the pitch is bigger. The fans are on side. Teams tend to sit back against us. When you go to an away game, teams are going to go, their away record's useless. We're going to attack them. And that's exactly what Everton did yesterday. And the amount of times they put a long ball down the wing and we couldn't cope with it. Yeah. Every time they threw a ball up to Calvert-Lewin, we turned him into a prime Didier Drogba. We have got 3 centre-backs marking one guy every single time he won the header. Why? Because he wanted it more. That team, right, that formation, that we played yesterday was the same formation we played away at Wembley against Spurs. Yeah, the difference is they wanted it against Spurs. They didn't want it yesterday. Yeah. How many disappeared against Tottenham? None.
Sure.
None. How many disappeared yesterday? 7, 8, 9?
Yeah.
If you're including substitutes, maybe 11. Do you know what I'm saying?
You're right, because in against Spurs, we were a lot more disciplined. We weren't ball following. We love to follow the ball sometimes, like instead of just holding your position, holding your shape, and allowing them to try and beat you, not you getting distracted by where the ball is going.
The best example I can use, right, and it's slightly different because it's home games that I'm going to pick out here, yeah? Do you remember when we played Wolverhampton Wanderers at home and Granit Xhaka let the ball just run straight past him and they scored? Yeah, they went in and scored. Did he do that the week before when we played against Liverpool?
No.
Exactly.
He was
mindset,
excellent
mate.
against Liverpool.
He was brilliant in that game against Liverpool. I was at that game and he actually run the whole length of the pitch to slide tackle Salah in the box.
Yep.
Yeah. And I was like, rah, he's actually got some pace.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
It was between that performance against Liverpool and his performance against United most recently are his 2 best games for Arsenal. I thought he was excellent in that game. I really did.
And that's the thing. Like even against Man United, yeah, there was times where he divered on the ball on the edge of the box, and if Pogba had been a bit more alert, they would have scored.
Do you think?
Yeah,
I ain't gonna
he would. No, listen, I ain't gonna sit here and cuss him. He played well against United.
I thought he was really good against United. I thought he dictated the midfield against United.
He did. He played well, but just little errors like divering on the ball. Yeah, there was one where they broke away. I see it on Twitter the other day. Somebody posted it, some United account going, "Oh, this is the best counter-attack of the season," or something. Yeah, and they didn't score, and it was that counter-attack, and then Xhaka's divering on the edge of the box. Yeah, and it's like, mate, if Pogba had been switched on, he would have slipped that to Rashford, and they score. Yeah, and like, let's be real, that Man United game, we got away with that. Lukaku missed sitters in that game. Yeah, right. True. although we played well, and I'm not taking anything away from Granit Xhaka or any of the other players that played, we got the result, and that's all that matters, yeah? But yesterday, way too many of them players, I mean, Maitland-Niles, for example, I actually said in my review that he must have been out on the lash the night before. What was he doing? Yeah, what was he doing? That was his worst game by a country mile for Arsenal. He's throwing balls out for a goal kick.
To be fair, he has had a few terrible games this season.
But we know he can play well. We've seen it, Chig. Yeah, he played well up at Old Trafford.
Yeah,
he scored. He's played well in other games, even against Liverpool.
He's a good player. It's just I don't know what to do about Maitland-Niles, because is he going to get a game in his actual position? No, he's not.
No.
So he's got one choice and one choice only. You either make this right back position work,
or go out somewhere else, get sold.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, right? This is where people wind me up, right? Oh, you're singling out players. It was a collective. It was the whole team. Remember when we got battered at Anfield? Yeah? Maitland-Niles played well that day.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Maitland-Niles played well.
It was him and Iwobi that played quite well.
Exactly. They were the best two players on the pitch for us that day, yeah?
Yeah.
Best two. The rest of them were hiding. So that day, we had 9 players out of 11 hiding. Yeah? 9 players, right? So when people go, oh, yeah, but it's the players around them, blah, 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 when I'm talking about Xhaka, Ozil, Laka, Aubameyang, players like that, oh, yeah, what's he supposed to do? Well, hang on. We conceded 5 at Anfield, and Maitland-Niles can walk off the pitch going, I played well today. Yeah, so it doesn't matter the players around you and the result. If you've played well, regardless of the result. And yesterday, there's maybe 4 players that can say they actually genuinely had a half-decent game?
No, because
that ain't good enough, man.
It's funny, because like I say, this is about reality versus an idea. And even some friends of the show, like, please don't take this as a shot, Hugh. You just come to mind because you were the last review that I saw. So I saw Hugh Wizzy's review of the game.
Big up, Hugh. Nice guy.
And I really like Hugh. Good guy. For his platform and the size of his platform, he doesn't turn into a superstar like others. He actually
mate. When he does a meltdown, he does a meltdown better than me, by the way.
Yeah, he does. He really does.
Liverpool away last season. Go and watch his meltdown on that, man, bro. That was hilarious.
And he's been threatening to come on the show a lot, so I need to get him on. But he basically was saying that that people that are attacking Ozil, like, they don't know what they're talking about. He had to drop deep to come and collect the ball. I'm like, bruh, come on. And I love you, but bruh, what is your point here? Like, what are you trying to prove here? That because Xhaka wasn't on the pitch, and don't get it twisted, people, I blame the manager too. All day
long, mate. That was his worst managerial performance of the season.
The manager definitely has the whole part of this L. I ain't gonna lie. But like you say, if you're Mesut Ozil, you are the captain, you are the talisman. Even if nothing else is working, make sure you play well.
Exactly.
Because 9 times out of 10, if you play well, someone else in the team is going to play well. That is the point of you being the captain, and that is also the point of you being the talisman. If you sulk into the background and you also don't play well because others around you are not playing well, how am I supposed to see you as a leader? How am I?
Let's be real. He ain't a leader, and that was a balls up by the manager in the first place.
But he was the captain. Let's play devil's advocate here. How are people supposed to be inspired to go and win that game if their captain is also hiding?
True. Do you know what stood out for me more than anything about him in particular yesterday? It weren't the throwing of the coat. I don't care who he was throwing that at, whether it was Emery, Silva, the fourth official, the substitutes, whoever. I don't care who we threw the coat at. Yeah. But let me tell you something now. If that was Alexis Sanchez that done that yesterday, yeah. Oh, look at him. He's petulant. He's got an attitude problem and blah, blah, blah.
I would have been one of those people.
Yeah, exactly, right? But this is my point. That's my captain. I've seen a million tweets. That's my captain. Rubbish. He wasn't a captain. He's not a captain. He's never been a captain. Emery ballsed up by giving him the captain's armband. The reason he gave it to him is because he's one of the 5. The other 4 never played. Right? Yeah. So I get it. Right? But what stood out for me, more than the coat throwing, more than him hiding yesterday and walking around in his languid body style that he does and shrugging his shoulders when he loses the ball, right? What stood out is when he was substituted, right? And bear in mind, Alex Iwobi's still relatively young, 22 years old, whatever he is, 22, 23. We're 1-0 down, only 1-0 down, right? Look how many times Lacazette's been subbed this season. He's been, and that substitution has been booed by fans, right? And Lacazette's gone like that, got the crowd up. Come on, get up. Don't worry about me being subbed off. We're going to win the game. And he sprints off, high fives the man coming on, and goes, go on, son, go and do it. Yeah? He done it. I can't remember what game it was. I think it might have been Fulham. Was it Fulham? I can't remember. And Ramsey scored. He came off. No, it was Chelsea.
Okay.
Was it Chelsea? Oh, anyway, whatever game it was.
Sorry, someone.
No. That was when the substitution got booed and everyone was singing Giroud's name. Another complete idiotic move. Yeah, but I think it was Fulham or I think it was Burnley actually. I may be wrong. Whatever game it was, right? He gets substituted off. Everyone's jeering and booing. He's bigging up the crowd, high-fiving Ramsey as he comes on. 3 minutes later, Ramsey scores the killer goal. Right? Yesterday, when Ozil's strolling off the pitch, all like slumped shoulders, walking off like everyone's got to feel sorry for me. Yeah, he's feeling sorry for himself. Iwobi put both of his hands down for him to pat both of his hands on a low five, yeah, rather than a high five. And it was half-assed. This is a young kid coming on. We're 1-0 down. You're the captain for the day. Buzz the boy up. And do you know what? Fair play to Iwobi because he came on and he was the only one who looked like he cared. Yeah, other than Ramsey. I thought Ramsey done all right when he came on. Right? And between them two, they were the only two in that team out of all the subs, all the starting 11, that made Everton think, oh, hang on a minute, we better drop back a little bit here. We're worried about them going in behind and going at us. And Seamus Coleman dropped 10 yards back when Iwobi came on. Right? Aaron Ramsey was making runs from deep. Not that it paid off in the end. But them two in particular. But that stood out for me because if that was, I don't know, say Granit Xhaka would have trotted off the pitch, high-fived Iwobi, give him a little slap across his backside and gone, go on, son, get out there. Yeah? Koscielny would have done exactly the same. If that was Petr Cech coming off, not that you're going to sub Petr Cech for Iwobi, yeah? But you could imagine that Petr Cech would have done the same. This guy is an experienced World Cup winning, played at the highest level for years, and he just strolls off like, feeling sorry for him. Oh, yeah. Oh, go on then. Yeah, bye. Then he sits on the bench and throws a coat. Like, come on, mate. Yeah? Mate, where was that on the pitch? Yeah, and I don't want to turn it into the Ozil show or anything like that, right? But he really wound me up yesterday. He shouldn't have started, right? And for all you people that like a stat about Mesut Ozil, here's a stat for you, yeah? He's featured in 22 games this season in the league. 22. He's played 6 away games. He started 2 of them this season. 6 away games he's took part in. He started 2 away games this season. He's not finished 90 minutes in either of them. Make of that what you will. Yeah? The last time he started an away game was Boxing Day. Yeah? And guess what? We drew that game and he got substituted. That was against, I think it was Brighton.
Yeah, that's
on Boxing Day. Yeah? But like I said, I don't want to turn it into the Ozil show, but if you're, and let's not disregard how poor Lacazette was yesterday.
No, Lacazette, right? Yeah. And I love Lacazette, but he was terrible.
And them two wound me up more than anybody else on the pitch. And the reason they both wound me up, right? I expect Mkhitaryan to be dog shit, yeah, because he has been pretty much most of his Arsenal career, right? And I expect El Neni to be El Neni. Right, and by the way, can somebody leave in the chat room, in the chat box down there? Can somebody tell me what El Neni did wrong yesterday? Right,
I'm with you 100%. Don't get it twisted. We're not saying he was good. Please don't mistake us. But what was so bad about him that he was this liability? Let me tell you exactly what it was. Right, people didn't like the idea that El Neni started in the first place.
Yep,
lost, and therefore he became the scapegoat. The irony is that people say, no, well, Ozil is the scapegoat. El Neni is a basic player. Let's be real. Exactly. Basic at best. He comes in and does the job. He's never good. He's never spectacular. But we know what El Neni does. As far as I was concerned, El Neni did exactly what
El Neni does. Exactly. Sideways, backwards. And big up Graham as well, right? Anybody who ain't watched the Tactical Insight show on AFTV, once you finish this stream, obviously, go check that out and big up Graham, yeah, because he actually mentioned this, and I'm going to quote what he said. El Neni did what El Neni does, right? He's sideways, he's backwards, he's comfortable, and he's safe. Yeah, he's not going to spring a past 60 yards. He's not going to drop a shoulder and beat Sigurdsson. Yeah, he's just going to get the ball if he's pressed. Oh, where do I? Oh, okay, I'll go back to Leno or Socrates or Monreal. Yeah, or I'll pass it sideways to Guendouzi. Yeah, what did he do yesterday that he hasn't done in previous games then? Because that's what he does, right? And he was the scapegoat before the game started. Fact. The meltdown when he was in the team, right? In the team. And let's be real, I don't rate him. He shouldn't be at Arsenal. He's not Premier League quality. Yeah, not Premier League quality, let alone Arsenal quality, right?
Yeah.
And he shouldn't have started the game. But the fact he did start the game and people were having a meltdown before it started, at least actually watch the game first, then have the meltdown. Yeah? He was the scapegoat before it kicked off. And I sat there and I just thought, you know what, right? I don't care about stats and stuff like that. I don't look at stats. I get thrown stats from Ozil like fans and Xhaka fans all day long. I actually looked at El Neni's stats yesterday. I thought, let me see how bad this guy actually was then, because I must have watched a different game, right? His stats weren't that bad in terms of passing, duels won, forward passes, stuff like that, yeah? He wasn't actually that bad. And neither was Guendouzi, right? And their pass accuracy stats were pretty decent, right? But the fact of the matter is, and this is what I'm trying to get to, yeah? But Mesut Ozil had to drop deep because they weren't passing through the lines, which is what Granit Xhaka does.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, how comes we have lost how many away games? How comes we've only won 9 in 2 seasons away and Granit Xhaka has started most of them and finished most of them, right? Add on top of that, the fact that Alexander Lacazette, yeah, for as good as he is at home, right? As good as he is at home, and big up Tom, because somebody put in the chat room on Tom's show last night that I was on, yeah? Somebody said, how comes Lacazette and Aubameyang seem to get away without being criticised for ghosting away games?
You know what I mean?
But Xhaka and Ozil always get criticised for ghosting away games. And I'll tell you why that is and what I said, yeah? Because they score hatfuls of goals at home, right? And let's be real here, Lacazette has ghosted a lot of away games this season. Yeah, Brighton. I remember watching that game, mate. That was a disgrace. His performance in that game. Yeah, right. Bournemouth again. Another one. He walked around the pitch.
To counter that, to be fair, Lacazette does normally work hard at the very least. Normally,
yeah, but mate, I can dig out right now how many away games he's played poorly in, and Aubameyang has ghosted pretty much every away game.
Everyone.
Right? Apart from Fulham, yeah. Right?
I'm with you on that one.
But the reason they don't get criticised the way Ozil and Xhaka get criticised is because Ozil and Xhaka disappear at home as well as away. Yeah, Aubameyang is a straight flat track bully against lesser teams at home, the same as Mesut Ozil is. Last week, everyone was knocking one out. Oh, he's man of the match against Newcastle. He weren't man of the match in the first place. Let's have that right. Aaron Ramsey was, right? Yeah, let's have that right. And Lacazette close second, yeah? He was good, don't get me wrong. But Newcastle came to keep the scoreline down. They didn't come to play football. They came out there 3 times in the first half, right? And when you've got the ball, at one point against Newcastle, we had 86% of the ball in the last 10 minutes, of the first half or a certain point of that game, yeah? When you've got that much of the ball and Newcastle are not pressing you, you're going to look world-class all the time, right? Against Barté, against Rennes, they're all going to sit deep. They're all going to let you have the ball. They're all scared of you dominating them because you're at home, right? Against Man United, fair play. Ozil played well. Yeah, he did play well, right? They all played well, right? But the biggest test was yesterday. Because, yeah, it's all well and good doing it at home against teams that are going to let you have the ball. And Man United came to play football against us, so it was end to end. Yeah? Do it away. Do it away when they're in your face. Do it away, right, when they're going to press you. Do it away when they're going to be physical and the crowd are on side. You need to silence the crowd inside 5-10 minutes. All we did yesterday was boost their crowd and go into our shell. And that has happened so many times. And the main 2 that I dig out, or the main 3 I dig out for that, yeah, Lacazette, all day long. He's done it too many times this season away from home. I think it was Brighton or Bournemouth. I'm pretty sure it was Brighton. He walked round that pitch. I think he scored in that game. It might be Bournemouth, actually. Might have been the Bournemouth game. He literally walked around the pitch. Yeah, like he weren't interested, right? And other away games this season, he's just been poor. Aubameyang, I wouldn't play him in another away game for the rest of the season because he offers absolutely nothing in an away game. Fact. And Mesut Ozil, all three of them, you could even throw Mkhitaryan into the mix. All four of them, yeah, have ghosted 5 to 10 away games. Maybe not so much Ozil because he hasn't played that many away games here. But when was the last time Ozil played well away from home?
I agree with 75% of what you said. I don't all the way agree about Lacazette, but I do agree with every other thing that you said about this. Let me just give a quick shout out because he's given like 3 donations. I ain't shouting. That's VP75. Thank you, brother.
He's a nice guy, that guy. He follows me on Twitter.
So he asked me yesterday, why have I muted him, right? And I've unmuted him now, right? But the reason
how did you see that if he was muted?
No, because he put it in the chat room.
Oh, okay.
He's not muted in YouTube. That shows you I don't dislike the kid. But on Twitter, he's very active. And my phone keeps going off, so I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. Let me just mute you. But no, I've muted you now, brother. It's no hate at all. So yeah. Anyway, thank you, brother. Thank you for the donations.
Yeah, nice one, man.
Right. All right. So let's get into this thing.
Sorry to cut you off. Before we get into that, has anyone put in the chat box why El Neni was so dug out and what he did?
Yeah, El Neni was a hot topic a little while ago.
What did he do? What I want to know, and I've asked quite a lot of people. I'm in a couple of group chats here, and I put in a group chat today, 2 group chats actually. What did El Neni do wrong yesterday, or different yesterday that he's not done in previous games he's played? Not one person has given me an answer, and on Twitter today, nobody's answered it. So if somebody can answer that and let me know, then
Marbles Hall's TV agrees with us that not necessarily mark-wise, but he believes that El Nene was a 5 out of 10. He wasn't as terrible as people are making out. Lewis says Mohammed is the man that breaks up the ball and gives it to the playmaker. Do you know what? One thing I will say, right, which I think you were making an excellent point. I'm going to come at it at a slightly different angle. And that is, for me, people are saying, oh, well, Mesut had to drop deep to come and collect the ball. Do you know what I would expect as an experienced senior captain of that team? I would try and speak to El Nene, or better yet, speak to a young Guendouzi and say to him, listen, I need the ball here. I need the ball here. Try and direct him.
Yeah.
Not come and think, oh, forget this. I'll come and do it myself.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're running out of your positions. Why don't you both just sit there for 5 minutes, keep the ball, and try and pass it forward to me so I'm on the half turn so I can actually go past the player and feed the ball to fucking Mkhitaryan or feed it to Laka. Instead, he don't do that, mate. He ain't a captain. Listen, Emery made a massive error by not only starting him, but making him captain. And he had no choice to make him captain if he's starting him because the other 4 captains never played. So the fact that we've even got 5 captains is just an absolute disgrace anyway, mate, because none of them are captains. Yeah, let's be real. None of them are captains. The only person who should be captain at this football club right now, and I've changed my mind slightly because I did say Laka the other day should have a chance to be captain, but he ghosts too many aways. Yeah, the only one who I would give it to right now is Socrates. Yeah, even if we're crap, that geezer still puts a shift in. Yeah, and he's still he was hindered yesterday because he got an early yellow. Yeah, right, but he's still throwing his body on the line. He's still getting in people's faces. He's still trying. You know, he's still vocal.
Rich answered your question. In his opinion, he feels that because El Nene doesn't have the look or the hype, and that's why. And I think that pretty much answers that.
That's probably spot on. Yeah.
I think that answers that question. Right, okay, let's do this thing. Let's get into the player ratings. So I've seen that Karen believes that Leno was man of the match. I know me and you share the exact same opinion on Leno. So let me quickly give my mark. I think you were slightly more generous to Leno than I would have been. I gave Leno a 5 out of 10 yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, I was a bit more generous.
Yeah. By the way, Lee has done his player ratings. It'll be out straight after the
9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. I haven't uploaded it yet.
So do go over to his channel at 9 o'clock and check that out. So for me, I gave Leno a 5. I've seen people laud him for all the saves that he made yesterday. For me, he made the saves I would expect someone of his quality to make. There was nothing there that I thought was spectacular. Funny enough, we were talking about Hugh Wisley earlier. He said the exact same thing, and I was like, exactly. What's what people talking about?
There was times he put us under pressure as well. Instead of just kicking it long, he was to 3 centre backs that are no good on the ball.
Yeah, just quickly, especially when someone like Mustafi, who makes people nervous at the best of times, is passing the ball back to you. Just lob that thing. Don't try and put yourself under pressure.
Passing it back across goal, an open goal, and all that. Yeah, no
lob
need for
that thing quick. Lob that thing quick. For me, I don't agree that I don't agree that he was much more than a 5. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's being harsh," but you just show me examples of where Leno was this spectacular saves that he was making. I will always accept it when Leno's played well. I like the man a lot. I think he's a very good keeper, but to me, I thought he was a 5. I didn't see anything in his performance that made me think you were amazing. So yeah, 5 out of 10. Blimey!
I have no idea what happened there.
$10 donation from VP this time. You're rolling in the dough these days. You're rolling in that dough.
I'll give him my bank details after this. He can sort me out.
Do you know what I mean? He basically says, "Shout out to Chig, Lee, and Ola." Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Nice one, man.
I never really promote the donation stuff too tough, but do for those of you who are wondering how the heck VP is doing this, there is a $sign just underneath the chat box. You can, if there's anything you want me to focus on, shout outs, whatever, by all means, you're welcome to press it. I'm not really that guy that kind of emphasizes that too tough, though. So, if you want to. If you want it, you don't have to. All right? Okay. 3 centre backs. Mustafi, my mate Mustafi. I think people are expecting me to savage him. I love Troops. But he's spoken that real herb when I say that he talks about 8 out of 10. I love Troops. I love my dog, but I don't know how or where he saw 8 out of 10. Having said
it's the high grade, bruv.
That's what I'm saying. That real thing. But no, to me, I thought it was a. I'm debating 5. I'm debating a 5, but I'm going to go with a 4. I'm debating a 5, but I'll go with a 4.
He wasn't as bad as people make him out to be yesterday. He wasn't our best centre back. I think Socrates was, because of the blocks that he put in. Him and Leno kept that scoreline down. But I don't think Mustafi was that bad, to be honest with you.
Me too. I had to rewatch it. I'll be honest. So I was annoyed with him.
The thing is, every time he gets the ball, he gives you a heart attack. That's the problem. Because you just know he's going to cock up.
For various different points of the game, I was like, "Oh, what is this guy doing? What is he doing?" But actually, rewatching it, and I always try and rewatch these matches twice. The reason I try and do that is because I watch it first time full of emotion, then I accept whatever the result is, and then I think, all right, let me rewatch it. Don't get it twisted. I ain't sitting there for 90 more minutes, but I'm rewatching like some of the highlights and stuff, and I think to myself, all right, you're a little bit better. When you have a show, you got to do these sort of things. I know Lee does similar. So yeah, for me, I'll give him a 4. I'll give him a 4 out of 10 for me. I know people in the chat room are talking 6. What are you talking about?
No, do you know what? I can see why people are saying that, because he wasn't that bad. But for me, there was just like I said, Calvert-Lewin bullied all 3 of them at certain points in the game.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And the reason I'd say Socrates was the best of the 3 is because he did put in some proper blocks to stop Sigurdsson scoring goals. Yeah. And that's not saying Mustafi was bad, because he weren't great, but he weren't normal Mustafi. There was in the first couple of minutes he tried 2-footing someone. And luckily he won the ball and it went out for a throw-in.
Yeah.
right? But if he had mistimed that by a split second, that's a straight red card. And it's like,
Red
you
card,
can't
bro.
do
Yeah.
that, man. You can't do that. And that was early. That was like 6-7 minutes into the game. So, but no, I can see anywhere between a 4 and a 6. I can sort of see. Do you know what I mean?
If Ola is saying in the chat room, we got to give him a new contract. Ola, me and you are brothers, but anyhow they get
block him, kick him out the chat.
I'm telling you that deserves a block. That deserves a block right now. You say that kind of crap again, I will time you out of the chat room. So yeah, there's a lot of differing opinions. Sam, big shout out to Sam.
Yes, Sam.
He I know he lives quite close to you, your boy Sam. But yeah.
He actually texted me yesterday, Sam, I hope you don't mind me reading this out, mate. He goes 0, the fucking lot of them. Ozil minus 100.
That sounds like time to me, blimey. But no, so Sam goes, he would have given, I think he said Mustafi a 3. No, that was Lewis. Lewis says he gave Mustafi a 3. Sam, you'd give him a 0. So yeah.
Sam's brutal.
If you thought I was being harsh, at least he got a 4. Right. Socrates, I'm going to give him a 5. I know you're probably giving him a 7 or something crazy like that. But I'll give him a 5. I thought, for me, he would have got higher, but then I thought to myself, bruh, come on, you know you are 1 yellow card away from 2-match ban.
Yep.
And you still got it as early as you got it. That was the thing that got on my nerves.
And that messed him up for the rest of the game because he couldn't play how he'd normally play with that physical presence.
Yeah.
But even with that said, like I said, the amount of times he threw himself at balls, and just took one, just took it. Like there was one he took on the backside, and Sigurdsson levered that, man. That must have stung his backside, bro. Yeah, right. And it went out for the corner in the end. But yeah, I do think he was better. He was the best centre back, definitely.
100%. Because as we come on to Monreal, oh damn, this guy is we are seeing a decline of a once very good player.
One of our most consistent players since we signed him.
Yeah.
And I love Monreal, man, but this season he has proven he is finished.
This is bad. I don't think he was the worst player on the pitch because you'll see who I thought was the worst player on the pitch. But I ain't gonna lie, he's in that conversation. I honestly think he was in that. He was that bad. I do think he played better when he was moved to left back, but not much. I think Richarlison had him on toast, to be fair. And I don't think that was helped by a certain someone who I'll come on to in a second, but for me, I'll give him a 2. I thought Monreal was poor. I thought he was poor. I really did.
I can't really disagree with that, man. He was shocking.
Let's come on to our friend Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
Mate, he was out on the lash. I'm telling you, that boy was partying hard on Saturday night because that's the only explanation. How is he throwing the ball out of play? He done it twice.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that kid because he'd been pretty good the last couple of games, and I thought, okay, maybe he's starting to get it. Maybe something has clicked. It was. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I actually think he was the worst player on the pitch.
See, I disagree with that.
I think he was the worst player on the pitch.
I disagree. He was second worst on the pitch for me.
I know who your other one probably worst player on the pitch was, but yeah, I weren't good. I ain't gonna lie, it weren't good. I've got to give Ainsley Maitland-Niles a 1. It pains me, but I actually thought he was terrible yesterday. I'll tell you who was joint worst player of the pitch. Kolasinac.
Yep.
Rightly
hooked as well. Do you know what winds me up with him? Yeah, right. People can go on about Iwobi's end product and this and that. Yeah, right. And people bang on about Iwobi's end product all the time. That guy gets himself in so many great crossing positions, right? And then just rushes the final ball and passes it straight to a centre back. And if he just had a little bit of composure, he'd probably be on double digits for assists. Yeah, because he's done it so many times this season. He gets in great positions, great overlaps, and then it's just shocking. Yeah, and defensively yesterday, Jesus Christ. Yeah, everyone calls him the tank. Man, trust me, my man was Thomas the fucking tank yesterday.
Yeah, right out of petrol. That's what he did.
Embarrassing, man. And he was rightly hooked at half time as well. Embarrassing from him.
There was one run that he did, right? And I thought, yes, okay, just composure. Before I even finished the thought, I don't even.
You done a Mustafi.
Like, what are you doing?
That's still travelling, bruv.
You should have seen my face on the watch along. I was like, I literally just sunk back into my chair like, this guy, what on earth is going on?
Mate, I don't get it. I genuinely don't get what he brings to the team. I know he's good as an outball and an overlap, but I would much rather have Monreal in that position because at least Monreal can cross a ball.
I know these mans like their balloons, allegedly. Let's put allegedly out there just in case. But I don't know if they had a session of that last. I don't know what happened. But
do you remember when we played Everton and Giroud was banging out a brass? Do you remember? Maybe they all had to go on the same brass.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
You never know, innit?
Something was not right. I'm not gonna lie. All right, let's get into the central midfield, the cause of controversy. Let's talk about Mohamed El Nene, because let's be real here. Even I will admit, when I first saw the starting lineup and I saw El Nene's name, I was like, "Eh?" Now I did watch the training videos earlier in the week, and he did look like he was training well. He looked like he was the focus of that training, which should have been, I suppose, a hint to people that he was going to start. And so I guess he had a week where he trained really well. I don't know. It was a surprise in a way that he started and Ramsey didn't. I know Ramsey was nursing a bit of an injury, but even if you want to hook Ramsey off after an hour, at least start the brother.
Exactly.
Get the lead, and then you bring on someone like El Nene just to see the match out. That would have made more sense to me.
Which we've done a few times this season. We've brought El Nene on to just shore it up.
Yeah.
We've done it against United, wasn't it? Was it United we done that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've done that in a couple of the big games that we won. I think we did that against Spurs as well.
He did. Yeah, he came on against Spurs.
But yeah, for me, I see. I don't think he was as bad as people make out. I really don't. I just think he's
just not good enough. That's the problem. Yeah, he's just not good enough. And he's a limited footballer. He's very limited, right? Yeah. And if somebody comes at him as he's got the ball, he panics and goes, right, I don't want to lose the ball by trying to do a pass forward, which could get us going back the other way. So what I'll do is I'll go sideways or backwards, which is good in a way if you're winning the game, yeah, because you keep possession. Yeah, but when you're losing a game, yeah, it's a case of, right, you have to go, do you know what? We're going forward and imposing ourselves. And he hasn't got that about him. But that ain't his fault. Yeah, I blame the manager for starting him and putting him in that position in the first place. But listen, he wasn't as bad as everyone's making him out to be. Everyone's blaming him and Guendouzi for other players playing crap. The reality is him and Guendouzi. Guendouzi was a headless chicken yesterday, and he is limited. He did what he does.
And the irony is, it's those people who are talking about, oh, stop making Mesut Ozil a scapegoat, but they're making Mohamed El Nene the scapegoat. Listen,
that's all right though. That's all right because it's El Nene, bruv.
The way I see it is this, and I guess we'll come on to Mesut in a second. But the way I see it is this: if I buy a Mini Cooper, right? I know what a Mini Cooper is. I'm not expecting it to do a 1 to 100 in 4 seconds. I'm not expecting it. So because of that, I tailor my expectations accordingly. However, if I buy a Ferrari and it's performing like a Mini Cooper, I'm going to be asking questions. That's why I ask more questions of a certain Mesut Ozil than I do of a Mohamed El Nene. To me, Mohamed El Nene didn't cost us the victory yesterday. There was nothing in his performance where I could say to him, all right, you were the reason for this loss.
Yeah, you were a liability. It was your fault. You kept giving them clean through and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm with you. He's not good enough. I am with anybody who's making that argument. And Ola, me and you're gonna have words because I see you campaigning for a new contract for Mo as well. Don't think we're not.
Ola's
We're doing
high
a show
tonight,
later.
bruv. Ola's high.
We're doing a show later this week, Ola. And you're talking this crap. I don't know what's going on, bro. You're smoking that stuff that Troops is smoking. That's the thing. But yeah, for me, nah, man. I ain't gonna. No, for me, no, I'm not gonna have. I'm not gonna have people making Mo a kind of an out for a poor performance. He was poor, but that's because he's not good enough. I'm with you, but he weren't the reason for why we lost. So I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10 because that's all he is. He performs. No, you know what? That's a bit generous. I'll give him a I'll give him a 3 out of 10. But that's because he's a 3 out of 10 player.
Yep.
So why am I surprised? So there you go, 3 out of 10. Guendouzi. I think for me, Guendouzi gets a lot of stick. He gets like Alex Iwobi heat now. He gets that type of level heat. And I don't like it. And if you notice, a theme about me is I defend young players, whether it's Alex Iwobi, whether it's Chambers, whether it's Ainsley Maitland-Niles, or whether it's this guy. And for me, I think this kid has it. My only problem with this guy and the manager is overplaying him the way the previous manager overplayed Alex Iwobi. So you're putting him too much in the spotlight so that when he doesn't excel, people are writing him off. His confidence gets affected. He never realizes his full potential. Do I think he was great yesterday? No, I don't. But do I also think that he wasn't helped out by the likes of your senior players like your Mkhitaryan's, your Mesut Ozils, your Alexandre Lacazettes? No, I do not. I don't think he was helped out at all. He was put in there to do the job of Granit Xhaka, and instead of people helping him through that process, you had the likes of Mesut Ozil just strolling around and being stroppy and then dropping down deep to try and do the job, and then not doing that, and it affects his own performance. Nurse the player through it. Tell him what he's doing wrong. Having said all that, I thought he was a 3 out of 10. He was poor. There was no doubt about it. But he wasn't the poorest on the pitch. Again, the way people are making out. So I'll give him a 3 out of 10.
I agree, mate. Yeah, both of them. Yeah, like we know El Nenny's limited, but Guendouzi's 19 years old, right? And this is what Arsenal fans love to do, yeah? Right? Do you remember Jeff Adelaide?
Yep.
Knocking one out because he'd done some backflick in fucking Emirates Cup. Yeah? Where's that kid playing now?
Yeah.
Some shit team in France. Right? Do you remember Zelalem?
Yeah.
Where's that kid playing now?
Yeah.
Chuba Akpom, where's he playing now?
I actually think Zelalem, up until recently, was still playing for Arsenal. He got sold to an American team very recently.
And this is the thing, right? Arsenal fans big up a kid who does some fancy little skill in an Emirates Cup game, right, in pre-season and go, oh, he's fucking amazing. He's the next best thing. Yeah? But then this Guendouzi guy comes in, plays well. Soon as he has an off game, he's shit. He shouldn't be starting. He's a headless chicken. He's a disgrace. Mate, the kid's 19. What were you doing at 19?
Can I just say something, right? Because Matthew Hudson, to be fair to him, has made an interesting point. Because you don't put a 3 out of 10 player in an 8 out of 10 minimum spot, right? But the way I see it is this: you're playing the player. We don't have any other options. Herrera's suspended. Granit Xhaka's injured. We don't have any other options. Short of playing a youngster there, you may as well play an
the only option we had for them two spots was Aaron Ramsey. So one of them would have had to have played. Yeah. And I'd rather Guendouzi play over El Nenny.
Exactly.
Yeah, but then who else can you put there? Could you put Mickey there? No, because he don't defend. But I kind of see his point. But if you've got options, then yeah, cool. Right? But we had zero options. Torreira suspended. Xhaka out. Yeah, injured. You know, we had no other central midfielders. So what could we have done yesterday to replace either of them two players? Yeah,
Do
you
you
can
know
only
what
replace
somebody
one.
just said in the chat room? What about Suarez?
Yeah, but again, have we seen enough of him to know whether he can defend?
Mm,
Yeah, it's all
exactly.
well and good staying on the wing or being attacking. Can he defend? You know, the only time we've seen him start a game was in Dubai. Do you know what
And
I
then
mean?
people will say Ainsley Maitland-Niles, but then what do you do with right back? Because would you put Lichtsteiner against
Well, you could. I
Richarlison?
suppose you could put Mustafi there, but then I wouldn't want Mustafi up against Bernard or
No,
Richarlison. Do you know what I mean?
exactly. It's like people.
I'd rather have a bit of pace and power up against him rather than Mustafi.
Exactly. To me, I agree. I think Ramsey should have started the game alongside Guendouzi. Don't get me wrong. But if that's all you have left, then the manager made a call. I think it was the wrong call, but he made a call. We should have got rid of Mo a long time ago. I agree with this. But to tell me that, oh well, you know, he played, so that was the reason we lost. I don't care what justification you want to come up with about, oh well, he's a poor player, so why does he get in the team? Was he the reason we lost? That's my question. Forget anything else. Was he the reason we lost? You know the answer to that question. So there you go.
There you go.
I've always said with Guendouzi that he's 19, he'll only get better. Yes, there are other 19-year-olds that are a bit further down the track. That doesn't mean a damn thing. Some people are slow learners. Some people develop at a different rate. And I've always tried to make that comparison with Iwobi. I've always tried to make that a comparison with Chambers, but people don't listen.
Thing is, with Guendouzi, right, he's played so many games this season and he's played really well in a lot of them games. He's played most of the big games, home and away, right? The fact of the matter is he hasn't got anyone stood next to him that's going to guide him through a game, right? And if you go back in the day when Fabregas started games for Arsenal, he had Patrick Vieira leading him through games. Yeah? Who's leading Guendouzi through games?
And there you go. This is my point. This is my very point. Who is leading the players? This is why you want your leaders to step forward, because you could guarantee if Tony Adams was there, he'd be leading them forward. If Patrick Vieira was there, he'd be leading them forward. And I don't just mean having fun in training. Oh, I did the nutmeg on you. Let me go and take some balloons. No, I'm not talking about none of that. I'm talking about how are you guiding the kid? He's clearly got something about him. How are you helping get that best out of him? Heck, I'll even give Cesc credit. You know, I've heard Aaron Ramsey say that Cesc Fabregas was very heavily instrumental in his development because he used to nurture him. He used to be able to talk to him, tell him what he needs to do, and that's why when Cesc left, Cesc said, "You man don't even need a replacement. You got a replacement in Aaron Ramsey."
Hey, and this is the same fan base that boo him every time he comes back. Yet Lord up Petit, who went the same route to Chelsea as he did.
Bro, don't get me.
You know what I mean? Yeah, singing Theo Walcott's name yesterday, cheering Giroud. Yeah, but they'll boo Fabregas, who was actually one of the best players we've had in the last 15 years. So I mean, but anyway, let's get on to the next ones, man.
Yeah. So let's talk about your boy. Let's talk about him.
Oh man,
what's going on with your boy, man? What's going on?
Mate, this is what he does. This is what he does every season, but only a select few people can see it because they're blinded by sentiment. They're blinded by statistics. Yeah, I'll give you a statistic, yeah? Right? In fact, I won't give you a statistic, right? This is how it goes with Arsenal fans that are in love with Mesut Ozil, right? We've got the best playmaker on the planet. Okay, cool. Olivier Giroud and Theo Walcott cost him breaking the record for assists. This is the same fan base that sing both of them two players' names. Yeah? So they blame Giroud and Walcott for him not breaking the assist record. But yesterday our fans are singing Theo's name. Right? They sing Giroud's name when he's coming on at the Emirates, right? But then they blame him for Ozil not breaking the record. Right? Now, as soon as the assist stats dry up, it's all about pre-cum assists. Yeah? The pass against Burnley. Well, I expect a 350 grand a week footballer to make that pass. Yeah. Nobody mentioned Kolasinac's input in that. Yeah. Kolasinac had the insight to see the space, know that Ozil can make the pass, and then had the composure to square it back to Aubameyang, who scuffed it into the net. Right? But Aubameyang don't take credit, even though he scored. Kolasinac don't take credit, even though he made the run and had the composure under pressure to square it and cut it back. Right? Against, I think it was Bournemouth last season. It might have been the season before, actually. Yeah, I was at. It was last season. It was early, like middle of last season, right? We're playing Bournemouth, I think it was, at home. Right, Ozil overhits a pass down the wing towards the touchline in line with the goal. Yeah, in the penalty box, it overhits a pass. Right, Giroud bust a nut to get that ball and cross it back to Sanchez, who scored it. Giroud hit the ad holdings where he run so fast and got his foot wrapped around it and then slid across into the ad holdings. Yeah, Sanchez scores the goal. The Emirates crowd are singing, "We've got Ozil." Really? He overhit the pass. Giroud squared it, got the assist. Sanchez scored the goal. The quicker this geezer goes, mate, I'm fucking sick of the guy. Yeah, I'm sick of his fanboys. I'm sick of him. Yeah, I'm sick of the fucking bullshit excuses as to why he don't play well. Yesterday, it's, oh, he had to drop deep because Guendouzi don't pass forward and neither does El Neni. Okay, cool. So how come Socrates still played well yesterday? How comes Ramsey and Nwobi played well yesterday? Yeah, right? Why is it always him that has got the excuse? Why is it always him? Right, and that is what winds me up. Right, it's funny how you take the geezer off set pieces, and all of a sudden his assist stats dry up, isn't it? Yeah. It's true though, isn't it? Xhaka has been on set pieces most of this season. Yeah. Funny how you take him off of it, and now it's the pre-cum assist. Yeah. Then the pre-cum assist dry up. No, listen, hear me out here. Right. Then the pre-cum assists dry up, and it's but he gets into the spaces and makes space for others. Fucking do me a favour. How about he ain't all that? Stop fucking bigging him up, right? The only reason we paid this guy that much money is because we lost Alexis for Mkhitaryan. And the board shit their fucking knickers and we're like, wow, we can't let Ozil go. Oh, let's throw all the money at him. Right? Now, Turkish, big up fucking Turkish, by the way, yeah? Right? I texted him this morning. Right? I watched his fucking interview on AFTV yesterday, yeah? His fan cam, yeah? He compiled a list, right? Because somebody tried calling him out at the Newcastle game, yeah? Saying it's the going rate for a creative attacking midfielder, 350 a week. Bear that in mind, yeah? So he compiled a list. Bernardo Silva, 6-year deal at Man City, 150 a week. Would you take Bernardo Silva over Ozil right now?
Yeah.
Because I know I would. Right?
I would.
Then the guy who was calling him out. Yeah. Then the guy that was calling him out goes, yeah, but it's all about his marketing. He sells shirts, this and that. It's all about what he brings back to the club. Who gives a fuck? Right? Seriously. Yeah. So then he went, okay, cool. James Rodriguez. Bigger social media following, sells more shirts than him globally, less money than Mesut Ozil. I can't remember the exact figure. I think it was 200 or 180. Yeah? So it's not the going rate for a number 10. Eriksen is on 70 bags a fucking week at Tottenham. 70 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah? I'm not saying he's any better or any worse. Yeah? Because he's been shit this season, Eriksen. Yeah? But that's because he's destined to fucking leave because he don't want to be there anymore. Yeah,
he wants to go to Madrid.
Right? But I'll tell you something now. He's still high up on the assist stats. Go and check the fucking chart. He's second behind Hazard.
But I'd take Eriksen. I rate Eriksen.
He's second behind Hazard this season on the assist stats. And while we're talking about Eden Hazard, I don't rate Eden Hazard. I think he's another myth. Turns up when he feels like it. Same as Pogba, right? But he's top on the assist stats this season. Mesut Ozil was joint 90th. Joint 90th. This is the best number 10 in the world who don't score any goals and don't create any anymore. Yeah, so then it's pre-cum assists. Then the pre-cum assists dry up. It's, but he drags players out of position for others to score goals. Then when that dries up, it's, but El Neni and Guendouzi are the reason he played shit because he had to drop deep and that's not his game. Fucking turn it in, will ya? Seriously. Yeah, excuse 3 billion and 54. Yeah, come on, man. Giroud and Walcott were the reason he didn't break the assist record. Okay, cool. We've been both of them. We've got 2 bangers up front. Yeah? Now he don't take set pieces. He don't get assists. Then he don't get pre-cum assists. Then it's, El Neni and Guendouzi are the problem. Fucking mate. Maybe he's the problem. Maybe he's spineless, and maybe he ain't got a backbone away from home. Yeah, he's a flat track bully. And I'm going to stick Aubameyang into this as well, by the way. All right? Aubameyang is a flat track bully as well. Barring his goals against Tottenham, yeah? His goals against Tottenham at home in the 4-2.
Well, I'm waiting for you. Go on.
Yeah?
I'm waiting for you.
Right? Both of them, and I love Aubameyang. He's our top scorer, so you can't mug him off too much, right? But with that being said, both of them hide in away games. Hide. And it ain't a new thing with Ozil. This has happened for 6 seasons, mate. 6 seasons, right? So when people go, you've got a fucking agenda. No, I haven't got an agenda. I've got a difference of opinion that doesn't match with your opinion. And because you can't fucking debate because you know I'm right and facts back it up, yeah, you've got an agenda. My agenda is for my football club that I've supported for 30 odd fucking years to win football matches. And the quicker this fucking lightweight leaves this football club and all of his adoring fucking fan base go with him, the quicker we might just move forward as a football club. But then it'll be the Granit Xhaka fanboys. They're all switched to him. Oh, you don't understand what he does. If you can't see what he does, you don't understand football. Well, guess what, motherfuckers? Maybe I do understand football, and that's why I fucking see that they're both shit. Yeah? Maybe it's you lot that don't support Arsenal Football Club. You support the idea and the fucking the dream that this guy is the best thing since sliced bread. Mate, trust me, Mesut Ozil is not even in the top 50 Arsenal players of all time. Yeah? Not even top 50. So you can throw any stats at me you want, yeah? The guy is the most overrated footballer I have ever seen at this football club. Ever.
YouTube, just so you know, I'm the owner of the show and I didn't swear. I want that to be clear.
Bro, tell me I'm wrong. Can somebody prove me wrong? Because listen, listen, right? At the end of the day, I really hoped it would have worked out for Mesut Ozil at Arsenal. There was nobody happier than me the day he signed. I was jumping around my fucking living room like an absolute idiot. Yeah, we've got Ozil. I was a proper Ozil fanboy back then because I watched La Liga. I see what he did in Real Madrid. Yeah, I see what he did at Werder Bremen. Go and have a look at the clips of him when he was 18, 19, 20 years old. Yeah, dribbling past players, physicality, yeah, skills, goals, assists. And everyone comes at me and says, oh, but he's got more assists than any... Yeah, assist stats didn't fucking exist before the Premier League, mate. Yeah? 1992 was when the assist stats started giving... Like, anyone gave a fuck, yeah? Watch the games. Can anyone seriously tell me that this guy is a 350 grand a week footballer, right? Take his wages out of the equation. Even if he's on 100 grand, I would still dig him out because he is not worth the money. So then it's, but look, every time he got the ball in Dubai, they're all cheering. Well, obviously, it's a Muslim faith country and he's a fucking Muslim faith. Yeah? Of course they're going to cheer for him. Yeah? That's like Michael Owen, yeah, playing for England, yeah, at fucking Wembley. Yeah, if he gets the ball, they're going to cheer for him. Come on, man.
I always like Lee going on these rants and annoying people so bad that they have to...
Yeah, but you know what? I ain't a flip-flop chick, and I back it with facts.
They have to go, oh, why do you always play Ozil? Why are you always complaining?
Do you know what, right? I'm going to answer that question right now, yeah? And if somebody wants to come back at me, stick it in the chat. The reason I blame Ozil, yeah? The reason I blame Ozil, this is the facts, right? I expect Mkhitaryan to play shit because he's been shit pretty much ever since he got here, right? I expect Guendouzi to be shit because he's 19, new league, really stepped up from League 2 in France. I expect Granit Xhaka to be shit because he's been pretty fucking shit since he's got here and he ain't worth the 35 million quid we signed him for when we could have got Kante for less, right? I expect Mustafi to be shit, right? Because 9 times out of 10, he fucking is, right? I expect Mesut Ozil, the talisman, the best number 10 in the world, the world-class talents that we have in our team. I expect that guy to turn up more often than not. The reality of it is, in the last 2.5 seasons, it's actually a fucking surprise when he does turn up. Yeah? Am I lying here? Am I making this up? Right?
No.
And we have thrown that guy so much money that we couldn't go out and sign a single fucking player in January. That is a fucking disgrace. That is a disgrace, right? And not one player is bigger than this football club. And the way his fucking fans go on is like he is the be-all and end-all of this club and we're going to fucking liquidate when he's binned, right? The fact that Emery dropped him for weeks and weeks and weeks and everyone was crying, oh, but if we had Ozil, we'd be already in the top 4. Really? Yesterday was why he was fucking dropped. His stat pads, right? Okay. Somebody put in the chat box right now, if anyone thinks I'm making this shit up, tell me the last away game he played well in. Leave it in the chat box. The last away game he played well in. I'll actually give you the answer to that. Newcastle away in September. When was September, Chig?
A long time ago.
7 fucking months ago. That was the last time he played well. You could maybe argue, yeah, did he play against Cardiff away? Yeah?
Here's the thing, right?
And that was only a Lacazette banger that won us that game. Otherwise, we would have dropped points in that. Yeah? So somebody stick it in the chat box. The last away game, Mesut Ozil turned up and went, wow, I won it today. September against fucking Newcastle, right? Before that, can somebody leave it in the chat box as well? The one before that, because I can't fucking remember, right? And we can't have a player at this football club that's taking 3 players' wages because that's essentially what he's doing, right? Fuck the fee, give him away. Here you go, Inter Milan. You can have him for £3 million. You can pay his wages for 2 seasons. Give him away because that frees up money to buy 3 players, which moves us as a football club forward. And all I give a fuck about is the football club. Fuck Ozil. Fuck all these mercenaries that don't give a toss about our club. Yeah. Arsenal Football Club is bigger than any of these pricks, right? And him and his adoring fan base, yeah, are a massive part of the fucking issue at this football club. Because if we didn't have him on that much money at this club, we'd be a better football team. Fact.
Ozil, please leave this club so I don't have to hear this rant again. Please.
Yeah, but do you know what, Chig? Am I lying? Am I making this shit up?
No, listen.
Give me the last 2 away games he played well in. I'll give you one of them. Newcastle. Tell me the one before that.
Here's my assessment. My assessment. Honestly, you said Newcastle. It probably was Newcastle, or I know somebody said Ludicrous.
That's what I'm saying. Come on, man. Stat padding against Farmers.
I'll say Newcastle probably, yeah. But,
Newcastle in September, I was at the game. He played well. Yeah, he did play well. And I actually said it after the game to Robbie. He played well. Yeah. Name me the one before that, because he was shit against Chelsea. That was the worst game he'd played for Arsenal, or one of the worst, and he got hooked. Yeah. And then he got dropped for West Ham at home because he had a row with Emery. And he spat his dummy out and stormed out the training ground the wrong or out the Emirates the wrong way, round the car park, yeah? Right? So he played well at Newcastle in September. When was the last game before that away from home he played well? Because we got bantered last season away from home, right? So it weren't last season. What are we paying this guy $350 a week to perform at home?
I agree. For me, my kind of assessment is this: yesterday's game, because that's what I'm talking about. So
okay. Sorry, I went off on a bit of a mad one. You always hit that fucking trigger with Ozil, and I just have to go on it.
I know. Ozil's your red button. I know. Right. For me, with Mesut yesterday, yes, I get the fact that he was dropping back and he was attempting to try and start play and do it, whatever it is that people feel that Granit Xhaka does, right? But to me, I think it was his responsibility as a senior member of that squad, as a captain, to be able to talk to that team around him and request for them to do whatever it is they wanted him to do in order to get the best performance out of him. Because in that situation, there was 2 people who I would say, I don't count Mkhitaryan, there were 2 people who I would say are a talisman in that situation.
Him and Laka.
So what can he do? What service does he need to be able to provide the service he needs to give to Laka? That would be what I would expect someone like Mesut to do.
No, Chig, sorry to cut you off, mate. Yeah, but why is it always about him? Why is it about we've got to accommodate him? Why doesn't he fucking accommodate the rest of the fucking team?
No, but
why is it him?
But to be fair, we just said 10 minutes ago, make sure you deliver a good performance. So he didn't deliver a good performance. So I would say, as his responsibility, he needs to not necessarily drop out of position and try and collect the ball. Because listen, I'd be saying the same thing if Lacazette was dropping deep, trying to collect the ball, instead of being there and trying to tell the team what he needs in order to get the best performance out of him. So I would say if he's not performing well and he recognizes after 15, 20 minutes, okay, I'm keep dropping deep to having to get the ball and it's not working, recognize what is happening in the game. Instruct Guendouzi, instruct El Nene, instruct Kolasinac, because let's be honest, from an attacking sense, he is probably someone who I would say is providing service to
Laka as well. Talk to Laka.
Yeah, instruct all of them and say, right, this is what I need to get the best for this team, right? Because that's what a leader would do. That's what Patrick would do. That's what Thierry would do.
Let me ask you a question, right, and throw this to the people watching as well, yeah, the ones that are still left. Yeah. Anybody remembers Matt Le Tissier? Yeah, played for some dog shit Southampton team. Yeah, right. Me and you are old enough to have witnessed him. Yeah, right. There's a lot of people that are watching this that never really were old enough to have witnessed Matt Le Tissier play football, right? Because he was declining as they were born and etc. Right? Matt Le Tissier could have played for any club in world football because he was that fucking talented, right? That's a fact. Am I lying? Right? He was so good. No matter how fucking shit Southampton were, 8 out of 10 games, Matt Le Tissier turned up and done something. Yeah? Even if they lost, which they did more often than not, because they were shit. But do you remember Matt Le Tissier scoring banger after banger against Newcastle? Do you remember Matt Le Tissier ripping Man United under Fergie, a fucking new one?
Matt Le Tissier's a boy player.
Right? Matt Le Tissier was one of the best footballers, technically, I have ever seen in my fucking life watching football. Right? But Matt Le Tissier, what he would do, no matter how shit that Southampton team were, and by the way, he could have signed for United, yeah? He turned them down. He stayed at Southampton. He could have signed for Real Madrid, Barcelona.
He was a life. Yeah.
Yeah? He's turned them down to stay at Southampton and win fuck all, right? But 8 out of 10 games, no matter whether they win, lose, or draw, not one of them Southampton fans could say, do you know what? He was shit today. Yeah? Because that is what a talisman does. That is what your best player does. That is what your most technically gifted player does. No matter whether you're being overrun, dominated, battered 5-0, your best player makes sure that the fans walk out of that ground and go, do you know what? He's worth every fucking penny. Yeah? And fucking brilliant performance again, even though the other 10 were dog shit. When was the last time, fuck home games, right? Fuck home games, Chig, yeah? Right? We did not sign Mesut Ozil to fucking smack up fucking Newcastle United. Let's be real here. Yeah?
I agree with you.
We didn't sign Mesut Ozil to slap up Bournemouth or Brighton at home. Yeah? We signed Mesut Ozil to be the fucking difference in away games, big away games.
Let's not go down this road again.
But it needs to be said, Chig, right? Because at the end of the day...
I'm with you. You're preaching to the choir here.
But this is what fucks me off, right? This is what pisses me off. Everyone makes an excuse for the geezer, mate. I'm fucking sick of the excuses.
We have one of those people in the chat room right now saying, oh, well, Ozil's not played that many away games. You're not going to convince somebody like that. You're not going to do it, no matter how much you say it. So the way I see it is this. Keep it factual. This is what I'm trying. This is the theme of the show. Keep it factual. What he did yesterday was a terrible performance. I ain't even given his mark yet. For me, I said to you off air, it was a 2 out of 10. You know, when I'm really thinking about it, it was a 1. It was a 1.
So has anyone answered me the last game before Newcastle? He's played well away from home.
My expectation of Ozil is completely different to my expectation of Mohamed El Nene. It's fact.
Exactly.
It's a fact.
Yeah, but this is the difference, Chig, right? Me and you, we don't have a favourite footballer, right? Because we ain't of that generation where we idolise a footballer. I stopped doing that when I left school. Yeah, Ian Wright. I was the white Ian Wright, bruv. Yeah, I've said that on here before. Loved the geezer to bits. Can't stand him now. Yeah, can't stand the geezer. Flip flop, Wenger in, Wenger out, Wenger in, Wenger out, depending on what fucking channel he's working for, right? But when I was younger, Ian Wright and Tony Adams were the men. They were the boys, bruv. Yeah. When you get older, you realise that none of these fuckers actually give a toss, right? And it's a job to them. Do you seriously think that these players really are Arsenal fans? Come on, turn it in. The only one who is Cole Jenkinson. Yeah, right? None of them care, right? So the fact that these players play for the club, you want to see as a football fan, yeah, some sort of passion, desire and fight, right? Where do we see that with this guy? All I've seen for 6 fucking seasons is excuse after excuse after fucking excuse. Yeah, I'm sick of it. Right, and going back before my time, because I wasn't properly old enough to see Charlie Nicholas. Yeah, but an older lot above me that I know have said Charlie Nicholas was exactly the same. He divided the fan base because he was exactly the same as Ozil. Yeah, technically brilliant, gifted to fuck, barely showed it. Yeah, and the fans all used to argue with each other over Charlie Nicholas. Yeah, fast forward 30 years and we're now arguing over Ozil. 6 fucking seats. Mate, we have invested 150 fucking million pound in this geezer. Yeah, since the day we signed him to the day his contract expires. 150 million fucking quid. Ask yourself the question, if you're a fan of his, yeah, is he worth 150 fucking million? Ask yourself that question without lying to yourself. Because for me, he ain't even worth a fucking quarter of that. Yeah, I don't get it. The same as I don't get it with Hazard, the same as I don't get it with Pogba. Yeah, the only players on the planet that I see that are worth that kind of dough, Messi, Ronaldo. Even Neymar ain't worth that. Mbappe's not worth that. Yeah, Messi and Ronaldo are worth that kind of figure. The rest of them are nowhere near, mate, right? And the fact that people will back this guy over the manager, right, and the club, that's what fucks me off, right? Because I've seen bigger and better players than him walk out of this football club, yeah? But they sit there and back him to the hill and then they fucking start slagging you off. You don't know about football. No, I've only watched it 30 years, mate. When I go to the games, I stand with my back to the fucking football pitch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah? Do you know, it fucking winds me up, Chig, yeah? And it just fucking pisses me off. But anyway, let's stop talking about him. Let's wrap this up, man, because fucking... Like, yeah, seriously,
you know, whenever we do this show, right? I always say to Lee, "Oh, let me get you an hour, right?" I should know when Ozil's not turned in a good performance. Lee needs half an hour just for this.
Yeah, but the thing that fucks me off, Chig, right, is when he does turn in a good performance, people fucking at me on Twitter going, "Oh, Lee Gunner's gutted. Oh, Lee Gunner's gutted." Yeah, fucking what? Against Newcastle.
I know that's really where that energy is coming from. I know. But do you know what? You know who else is a friend of ours that deals with this Ozil crap every single day? Zach. You know what he does? You entertain these guys. I ain't got time for that either.
Yeah, but blocking them's a trophy, bruv. Blocking them's a trophy. I ain't giving them that fucking trophy.
Mute them, block them.
Oh, mate, the amount of Ozil boys and fanboys I've muted is unreal, mate. It's probably all of the people I've muted.
What they want is they just want that response so they can get into the debate and then they laugh and say, "Oh, look at his logic."
Yeah, but the thing is, mate, like, what winds me up is like I'm an old guy. Yeah? I'm 37 this year. Yeah, I've seen so many good players at this football club, right? And the fact, like I said earlier, right, assist stats only started in 1992. 1992. I was born in fucking 82. Yeah. Ask anyone my age or above whether they give 2 flying fucks about an assist. Yeah. They're like, what? What are you talking about assist? Then it's pre-assist. Well, okay. Well, if we're going to do pre-assist, why don't we go pre-assist and go back to the fucking keeper? Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? It's fucking embarrassing, mate. Anything to cover the geezer's fucking flaws. Why not say it as it is? Which is what I do. I've got no favourites. I've mugged off Lacazette today because he was fucking shit yesterday. On Thursday, he might be man of the match, and I'll walk out of there and go, you know what? He was fucking brilliant today. Newcastle away, go and look at the fan cam with Robbie. Mesut Ozil was fucking brilliant second half. That's the title of that video. Yeah, because when he's good, I'll fucking praise him.
Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap that up. Okay, let's go on Mkhitaryan. So Mkhitaryan, I'm going to do this real quick because I know we've run way past where we said.
Sorry, man.
Right. So Mkhitaryan,
2.
I'm going to say 2, just because apart from a shot, which he quite honestly should have done better with.
Right, that was a decent effort, to be fair to him.
I should have got that on target. I'll give him a 2. Lacazette,
1.
I was very disappointed in Lacazette. I am not quite as harsh on Lacazette like you are, because I actually think most games he does something which I quite like, whether it's working the back line or whatever. But yesterday, for me, I actually thought it was his worst performance as an Arsenal player.
But you know, brother, I said this. He does it. He's done it so many times this season. Boxing Day, go and have a look at the Boxing Day game. He scored a goal and done fuck all after that.
He was
it was a good goal against Brighton. Yeah, right. Finessed it top bins. Yeah, great goal in between 4 players. He was in the box. Yeah, right. After that, he is walking round the pitch. Then go and have a look at the energy levels versus Liverpool at home. Yeah, last season, or even Atletico at home last season. What is the difference with that guy at the Emirates and that guy in a fucking away game? Yeah? Mentality. It's, we can rock up here and we can fucking do him. I'm better than them, blah, blah, blah. Yeah? And he is normally the focal point of our midfield and defence all being on it, because it's normally him that leads the chant. Yeah? When he don't lead the chant, nobody else gives a fuck. And it shouldn't be like that.
I'm going to answer this without telling Lee what you've put, because it will start him off again. But I'm going to say this. In response to you, Jimmy, no, it doesn't make him better. But you best believe when Ramsey goes to Juventus next year, they're going to expect a lot.
Mate, I've said this before, right? Ramsey will be at Everton inside 2 seasons because he'll get tactically found out in the fucking tactical
100%.
league. Yeah? Because tactically, he ain't aware. Right?
100%.
And when he starts doing these little backflips to fucking like try and score a goal, yeah, but instead of passing to fucking Ronaldo, yeah, he will get fucking found out. And that ain't going to last too long, is it?
And I go back to my original question, right? If you spend X amount of money on a car, all right, forget a car. I use the holiday as an example, right? Which I gave Lee earlier, right? If you spend X amount on a holiday, right? Let's just say, for the sake of argument, it's to Las Vegas, right? 5-star holiday, all the works, right? And then you spend even more on a holiday to Portugal. Now, I don't know why you would do that, but let's just say you did, right? Now, to me, the holiday to Vegas is better. But that doesn't mean I don't expect a lot from a holiday to Portugal, because I spent that money. You've offered me that service, so I expect that money. I expect high-class service. Mesut Ozil asked for that wages. He asked to come to Arsenal Football Club eventually when he realized Real Madrid didn't want him. He asked for X amount of wages. Why? Because he's Mesut Ozil. He's this quality player. So there's big expectations on him. So if there are big expectations on him, I have the right as a fan, Lee has the right as a fan, to expect that level of service.
Right, and let's be real here. We're not paying, but we're contributing to their fucking wages. And every single person around the globe who buys a football shirt is contributing to their wages. Yeah, so why the fuck can't I say what I want? If people get offended with it, tough. Yeah, that's their problem. Yeah, I don't ask you to agree. I don't ask you to reply. I don't ask you to watch. Yeah, if you want to scroll past a tweet, you can. Yeah, it's my opinion. I don't sit there going, oh, let me search for all these Ozil lovers or Ramsey lovers or fucking whoever else lovers. Let me go and search for them so I can troll them. Let me go and watch their videos so I can troll them. Yeah, get a fucking life, man. Seriously. Yeah, if you can't hack somebody else's opinion, don't watch. Yeah, or watch, but don't hate. Ty, for example, the biggest fucking Wenger in the world. Yeah, that guy goes to me, do you know what? I rate your opinion. I just don't agree with it. Yeah, and he knows the shit I say on AFTV. Yeah, and he stood there and said to me last season, he goes, I rate your opinion.
But
I just don't agree with it.
But that's my gripe. To me, why can't somebody see? I don't agree with everything Lee says. You just heard me disagree with the things he was saying about Lacazette. But I don't want to kill him for it. That's his opinion. Move on, innit? I don't persecute somebody for having an opinion. Marbles is a big time listener of mine, right? And he was listening along when I was doing a watch along, and he was saying that for him, he played Mustafi. We thought Mustafi was brilliant, and I was like, hey. But I thought, you know what, brother, that's your opinion. I love Troops, right? Troops is
Troops gave him 8 out of 10, bro.
when I see Troops at games, my man's always talking to me. He's
a nice guy, man.
I've never actually been formally introduced to the brother, but he's so cool, very receptive. I know he follows me and stuff, right? Me and him are cool, right? But when I saw his player ratings for Mustafi and he saw 8 out of 10, I was like, hey, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to start going on Twitter.
Did you start atting him, abusing him? No, of course you don't, because you're a fucking adult, mate. You're not an idiot.
The way I see it is, all right, whatever. 8 out of 10. I don't know where you got 8 from, but that's your opinion.
And this is another reason why I can't wait for the fucking circus around that guy, Ozil, to fucking leave this football club. Yeah, because I have never seen a more protected footballer in my whole fucking life watching football than this geezer. Right? Even Eric Cantona, when he starts fucking fly kicking fans in the crowd, Man United fans back then were like, do you know what? He should have got a fucking lifetime ban, some of them. Yeah? That's their own fans. Yes, he was one of the best footballers I've seen in my life. Yeah? But their own fans were like, do you know what? That's a fucking disgrace. If Ozil does that tomorrow, they'd want a statue outside the Emirates.
100%.
Yeah? Mate, seriously. I genuinely 100%. Do not get it.
We know the people who would say it as well.
Mate, I genuinely don't get it. But listen, each to their own, right? Everyone can have an opinion. I can't stand the geezer. I don't hate the guy, but I can't stand him as a footballer and what he is doing to our fan base and to this football club, right? Because let's be real, if we hadn't gave him that money and let him fuck off for 10 million quid in January, we would have had 2 or 3 footballers signed. Yeah. Or in the summer, sorry. Like if we'd let him go for 10 mil last summer, or even for free, we would have signed 2 or 3 players in January or even the summer. We haven't, and he is a massive issue, right? Our wage bill is a joke, and he is a massive part of that. He's like 9 or 10% of our wage bill annually. That can't be right, man. He's on more than the fucking manager. That's a disgrace in itself.
Let's go down the scope. Let's finish this.
Yeah, let's go on, man. Yeah. Aubameyang, 1.
Aubameyang, 1. I agree.
Ghosted again.
I agree with you. 1.
Ramsey,
I thought 4. Was a 5.
Oh, okay. You're a bit better than me. I gave him a 4.
I thought he was a 5. I thought he was good.
He should have scored. I actually thought that, like I said earlier in the show, him and Iwobi were the only 2 that gave Everton something to think about. Like going back towards their own goal. They were the only 2 that turned them around. Well, that's go the other way.
That for me is, I guess, brings me on to Iwobi. I'm not going to say man of the match because we lost the player.
Leno was man of the match for me.
But I thought that Iwobi was our best player. Mainly because as soon as he came on, he did the one thing I wanted Mkhitaryan to do. He was really direct at the very. If nothing else, he's direct, right? He didn't do none of that.
Yeah, but his name's Iwobi, mate, so it don't matter.
Right? That's the thing, and that's the thing.
And do you know what? Can I just say something here quickly?
Hold on, let me get this thought out real quick. That comes back to the Franklin thought earlier when he talked about Mo. Because let's be real here. If Iwobi was German, Turkish, had a better PR team, and had this alleged reputation, and came on and did what he did yesterday, not only would people be banging on about how he was 10 out of 10, but people would be castrating the manager for not starting him in the first place. But because it's Alex Iwobi, I guess he did all right. He didn't give the ball away, so he did okay. But the real talk is, my man was at least a 6 out of 10. In fact, I saw a couple of people say he did more in a 10-minute cameo than Ozil did the whole game.
He did more in 75 seconds than Ozil did in 75 minutes, mate. Fact. Yeah, because he got the ball and fucking run at them.
And there you go.
Yeah, and spun them the other way. Oh, by the way, that Eden Hazard, their talisman, by the way.
Has
Yeah,
just
their
scored.
talisman. Yeah, has scored a goal that's put them 1-0 up, by the way.
That's
So their
what.
talisman's rocked up tonight. Although it
Yeah,
is a home game against a team that ain't that great. So, yeah,
that's
it
what
is what it
talisman.
is. But no, you're right, man. You're right. Listen, at the end of the day, right? Everyone bangs on about assists this, assists that. It's all about XG and all about predicted goals and fucking pass accurate. Fuck that shit. Watch the game, man. Watch the game. There's a game this season, I think it was Everton, where Aaron Ramsey got 2 assists. One of them, he fell over the fucking ball, right? And the other one, he passed it 2 yards square, and Lacazette rounded 3 and pinged it top bins for goal of the month. Yeah? Everyone was trying to tell me at the end of that game, oh, Ramsey was brilliant, he got 2 assists. Really? What fucking game are you watching? Yeah? At the end of the day, if people want to go down the route of assists and goals and that, go and have a look at Iwobi's stats and tell me he's been shit this season.
I agree.
Because he hasn't. He has actually been fucking
I agree
brilliant
with
this
you.
season.
You have certain man who's recommending other players who are very similar to what Iwobi does. Very similar to his stats.
Bruv, don't even get me started.
He's not got the right PR team. He's not got the right look, has he?
At the end of the day, our wage bill is completely fucked, yeah? The quicker we get the highest earners, Mickey, Ozil, Kolasinac, and even Aubameyang, yeah? Not that I'd sell Aubameyang, but you could make a case to sell him. And by the way, Diego Costa's going, yeah? From Atletico, I'd fucking take that geezer in a heartbeat, mate. Yeah? I would take him in a heartbeat. Do you know why? Because every fucking club he plays for, he fucking leaves everything on the pitch. Yeah? Everything on the pitch. Yeah? Home, away, he bullies everyone. He's a fucking animal. And that is what we need at this football club. Nasty little fuckers, yeah, that want to have it.
Before we get out of here, let me get... I'm going to do a rating for the manager, and then I'm going to ask Karen's question, because you wanted to ask this question.
Right. Manager rating, 1. Shocking. Worst performance of the season from our manager. I love him. Good evening. Good afternoon. Yeah, all that bollocks. I love him. Yeah, but he has been shit in that game yesterday. He was shocking. His substitutions were good, but they never paid off. His starting 11 was woeful. Not what I would have done. And like I said at the start of the show, playing Mickey and Ozil together was a bigger mistake than playing Guendouzi and El Neni together. Yeah, because neither of them two track back. Yeah. At least the other two keep the ball and fucking keep it safe. Do you know what I mean?
I agree, man. I'm not gonna lie. Emre, I'm not Emre out, but yesterday you got a lot to answer for, man. Not just the El Nene thing, but just everything. The setup, how motivated these players were, what preparation did we have coming into this game? Why is it whenever Arsenal have a rest, they turn in some sort of lackluster performance? As my brother Ola would say, why haven't we burnt these Santa Claus Arsenal clothes yet? Why haven't we burnt the outfit yet? Why are we still holding on to Santa Claus's outfit? Because I don't get it. I don't understand what is going on. But here's the thing. Because it's Arsenal, I think we'll beat Napoli on Thursday. Just because.
We'll go and slap them 3-0 and then lose 4-0 away.
Just because. That's what
Arsenal do, isn't it?
I think we'll beat Napoli. I'm
Napoli, lose to Watford and then get spanked by Napoli 4-5-0. That's what Arsenal do, mate. Yeah. And then our game after that's Crystal Palace, I think. We'll go and whack them 8-0 and then we'll go and fucking lose to Wolves. Yeah, like that's what Arsenal do. Sheffield Wednesday, Bayern Munich. Do you remember? Lose to Sheffield Wednesday, beat Bayern Munich. Yeah. That's Arsenal, mate.
Yeah, I agree. Right, and also Karen's question was, let me just double check it. I'm new. I should have copied and pasted it, which is why I did. She said, Chig, can you and Lee answer this? Why did we get Suarez if he's currently not getting the game time or starting games?
Good question. Thanks for the question. I'll be honest, I reckon we've signed him. And I think that the fact that he's not played or barely played is because we're just trying to bed him in. Give him 20 minutes here, give him 10 minutes there, start him in Dubai. I genuinely think we've signed him. Yeah, and I think that is the Ramsey replacement.
Okay. So notice, people, I'm not going to insult Lee, but I disagree with him. I don't think we've signed him. I think that Emre thought there'd be a lot more need for him, but perhaps he's come to the conclusion that the league doesn't suit him. Maybe he's not quite the player that he thought Suarez would blossom into be. He's been away from him for a little while. People need to keep that in mind. So to me, I just think to myself that he probably realizes he's not good enough. I don't think we'll end up signing him. That's just my personal view. I think he's a decent enough player, but he's definitely not what we need. And if we're looking to play him on the wing, I'd rather buy. Here's a novel concept: an actual winger. So that would be what I do. But anyway, guys, that's it from us. So sorry for those people who were hoping Lee wasn't going to explode into a Hassel thing. But I will say this: he deserves it. He deserves it. He deserves every bit of criticism as does the rest of the team.
Before we wrap this up, Arsenal Academy are 5-0 up.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, there man. Amiachi, I think his name is.
Amiachi and Belgun are two exciting players I guarantee you'll hear from next season.
Yeah, that Amiachi is banging goals in for fun, mate. Medley scored. Medley's just banged the 5th. Amiachi's got. Oh, Joe Willock scored.
Joe Willock scored. Okay.
Yeah, Joe Willock scored 1. Let me see. Somebody called Tyrese JJ9 on Twitter. Tyrese Jules something or other. Bakary Saka scored.
Saka. No one you'll hear from.
Who else scored? Yeah, that Tyrese guy's. What's his name? Tyrese John Jules has bagged a couple of goals. Amiachi's bagged a couple of goals. Willock's got 1. And Medley, we're 5-0 up. Our academy's sick. Do you know what, right? I think we're top of the academy league.
Yeah, we're killing it.
Yeah, and we were 2-0 down to Tottenham with 5 minutes to go the other day. And we've done them 3-2, which put us clear of them. Right? And I think they've got Chelsea next their game. I don't know who we're playing. Who are we even playing tonight? Let me see who we're playing. I think it's Fulham. Is it Fulham? I think if we win the league. I might be wrong.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think if we win the league.
In a couple of weeks, yeah.
Let me just quickly check.
Lewis says we're top.
Yeah, we're top of the league. I know that much. Oh no, we're playing Derby County tonight. We're 5-0 up. I think if we beat Fulham, which is probably our next game, I think we win the league because then Tottenham can't catch us because there's not enough games left. But yeah, we're 5-0 up. 12 minutes to go. Bullet header from Medley to make it 5-0. So yeah, future's bright, man.
People, thank you so much for sticking around for us.
I've just watched Hazard's goal. Jeez.
This show will be on SoundCloud and iTunes. Please, Lee, let the people know where they can find you and obviously your next show.
Sorry, I was just sitting here knocking one out to Hazard's goal. Yeah, that was fucking class, man. Lee Gunner 82 on Insta and Twitter. Don't DM me on Twitter because I will ignore it. But you can follow me there if you want to. But be sure if you fucking start mugging me off, you're muted. And Lee Gunner on YouTube. Get me up to 10K. I am currently sat on 9,355 subscribers. Yeah. And I'm about to drop my player ratings. So, yeah, man, it's all good. So, big up everyone who subscribed.
So, his player ratings will drop very, very shortly. So, go onto his channel and hit that subscribe button. Also, help me get to 4K. That's my target before the end of the season. Very close to there. Picked up a number of subs during the watch along. Thank you guys so much. Stick around. Much more stuff happening. For any MMA fans that are around, me and Olo will be doing something around the 236 card that is on Saturday. And probably something boxing related as well. Because we ain't touched boxing in a little while. So me and Olo will talk about that. Probably on Wednesday. We'll drop a little something. Arsenal play Thursday. Probably tomorrow then. Me and Ola might do something. Ola doesn't know this; he's in the chat room learning about this himself. So do watch out for that. That show will also be on iTunes and SoundCloud. You can follow me on Twitter at Colossal Chig. Follow me on Instagram, Gooner_Eagle_I1. And you can follow, and also check out my Patreon. If you feel like it, any of you guys are feeling as generous as VP75, thank you again, my brother, once again. Do drop me a donation on there. Everything helps support the show. It's all geared towards the show. And I'll be back later in the week to do a preview for the Napoli game, probably on Wednesday. I may see if Sam, who was in the chat room earlier, is available, and Ola might do something as well, just because I like requesting Ola to do the show. So we'll see. That's pretty much it. I think I've covered just about everything. So guys, thank you so much. Me and Lee will be back again later. Take care. And Lee, you want to take us out?
Yeah. Ozil out, Emery in. Laters.
There you go. It shouldn't be a surprise to any of you. Come on, guys.